Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back to Light Fairytale. I imagine we're going to be wrapping up Haru's story today and maybe starting the mysterious girl story. Who knows? Let's carry on. So we did some more adventuring in the labyrinth that was the snow forest. Whoa, hey, easy there. And we had a couple of tough boss fights. May have caused some tiltiness in me, one of them at least, that freaking mech. But we fought through them, and now we have made it out of the woods to these ruins. Let's go see what's going on here. Apparently we at least can't just cross over from here. Nope. So apparently those ruins are just there to look dramatic. Okay, alright, we'll just ignore them then. Oh good, more forest. Is that where we're going?
Wait, now that I think of it, those soldiers must have reached the ruins by now. This might get dangerous for Kid. What should I do? I think I should sneak in alone and find Kuroko. It'll be much easier to escape that way. Kid, hide and seek time. Stay right where you are and count to 10,000. No cheating.
Where are you going?
Mother!
Hey, wait for me! I told you I never... That worked? Okay. Ayaka's left the party. Well, yeah, but so has Kid, I guess. So are we in for a stealth mission then? A sneaking mission by the sounds of it. Some kind of sneaking minigame. Let's see. Boy, am I a little worried about doing this on my lonesome, though. Oh, boy. Oh, hang on. Hold on. Are those bodies we have there? Yes. They have butterflies over their heads? That's curious. There were butterflies flying around in the ruins as well. Oh, actually, are they knocked out, or are they KO, or like they dead, because they got X's for eyes? That's actually maybe a little underselling how grim this is supposed to be, but I think it's kind of funny.
Kuroko! No, she's not around.
Go! You were there this whole time? Wow, the main theme. This must be an important scene.
What happened here?
Can't you tell?
They're all dead. How horrible.
Not like we haven't been killing a bunch of them already, but I don't know, were we killing them or just knocking them out? Who knows? How boring. After all, you two, just like all the others, are going to...
Anyway, if they find us, we're dead too. Let's just get far from here.
Oh, that's kind of cute. Haru doesn't even realize the truth of what happened to these soldiers. That's kind of funny. What? Wait! The encounter. At last, the mysterious girl from the freaking opening of the very first game. Oh, that's really the ending? Wow, so what? So here's the thing. After that dragon fight last time, you know, I was like 50-50 on, are we at the end of the game or is there going to be more gameplay? If I had known that this was the end, I would have played a little bit longer last episode. But the fact that the dragon didn't feel quite climactic enough for like a end of chapter boss, and the fact that there was a save point right after that, made me veer on thinking that, okay, we're not done with the game yet. You can now start a new game with the mysterious girl as the lead playable character in a very short story. Well, I guess we're doing that then today. You should give it a try. I will say, like... Sorry, I'll finish my first thought. Sorry, I shouldn't do this so much jumping thoughts. Sorry. It's a bad habit of mine. Yeah, I don't know why that save point was there. Like, you know, it kind of was unnecessary given that there was nothing to do with, like, no fights anymore or anything, and we just kind of wrapped things up. But, okay. But I guess I'm saving my big review for later, because we are gonna do the mysterious girl story. And the thing is, like, I'm actually pretty excited for this, because, you know, last time there was Haru's story and there was Kuroko's story. But the problem was that Kuroko spent, like, 80% of the video game with Haru in Haru's story, which meant that Kuroko's story was pretty much retreading all the Haru stuff already. There was like a couple of extra new scenes, and maybe if I'd spent more time sniffing around town, I would have found like more extra scenes during the few times that Kuroko was separated from Haru. But for the most part, it was just kind of just like a rerun of the first adventure. Now this mysterious girl story, question mark story, cannot possibly be retreading Haru's stuff, because at most what it can be is like we go through the same area that Haru's been through, probably that forest, yeah? That kind of tracks. Because she did not hang out anywhere with us throughout that adventure. So this should be like interesting. We'll see like some actual like really like kind of new content here. If it's a very short story, it'll have to remain to be seen if there actually is all that much, but the thought is nice. I cannot deny that. So, let's launch into question mark story. Alright. Now let's just get the hell out of here. Though I'm still feeling weak from all those experiments. Hey, cool, I remember this song from the first game, the, like, factory music. Very cool. Let's try not to get in any fight for now. I remember this being, like, a very cool song, too. Oh no, we don't have a... Well, I guess, yeah, we don't have a VR goggle, so we can't use that, but... Mysterious girl. We're 33% done already, just by loading up this game. What do we got in terms of equipment? Nothing! Our body armor is a test suit. No orbs. Okay. Dirty hairpin. Interesting. An old hairpin with a gray duck attachment. Probably has some meaning, but yeah. Yeah, I also appreciate the fact that they've been teasing this mystery girl since, like, the opening cutscene of the very first episode. And we didn't get very much of her in Haru's story here in episode 2 either, except that admittedly fun scene there at the end. I really did like that. So, very nice to have, like, this quick, like, side story here as well, to, like, get something for this character at last. Identity confirmed. Highest rank access granted. Oh shit, look, it says lab and cloning facility. What is going on here? They really need to fix this junk. Are you a clone? I don't know. That is a cool camera shot. Ugh, yes. Oh dear. For a second, it looked like that one guy was on a bicycle. That little groove on the ground looked like a bicycle wheel. I was very confused, like... I thought that this was some kind of, like, motorcycle core here. Like, what the heck? There's the gate. Only 4 of them? I can handle that. Or I could, usually. Wow, who is this person? Well, we did see that... Let's not kid around. Those were very obviously her kills, those 4 soldiers we saw in the ruins, so... We know she can do something. Fine. Let's just look for another way out. Do I need to sneak? I'm gonna sneak just in case. While we're doing the sneaking bit thing, I'm gonna return to that mecha guy one last time that I had so much trouble last episode. Oh, sneaking mission time. I see what's going on here. More of those boring soldiers. I'll just pass through them right when they lower their lights. Okay. Ugh. Made it. Oh, this one's tricky. Hold on. What is the pattern here? I'm gonna watch this. Well, I'll start my thought here while we're watching, while I get a grab for this pattern here. No, actually. No, go, 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 go. Phew. Oh, Jesus. Oh, just a sleepy guy, huh? Okay. Uh-oh. Ah, damn, that was my opening. I should have taken it. I'm trying to watch all these guys, so I'm like, trying to get a feel for their pattern. I screwed up. So yeah, I'm gonna return one last time to that mecha fight we did last time that I got so tilted, struggling through. I'm sorry that I need to harp on this, but I need to, like, because I need to give the game its due as well. Like, I was being very mean because I was in a, you know, a stressed out state, shall we say. And I should really learn not to get into those, even when the going is tough. Oh god, that is a really narrow... You've somehow managed to slip away from the guards! That is a really narrow time to, like, sneak through. How the heck am I supposed to do that? Oh boy. Well, I'll give it a go still, but, wow, that's rough. Yeah, I need to give the game a little bit of due, because I started to wonder what the deal with that robot was, since it turned out that that wasn't even progress to get past that giant mech guy. I see now what the case really was, what happens if I go down? I just go back here, huh? Alright, let's not. That was an optional boss, so I guess it was kind of supposed to be like a super boss. You know, when JRPGs have like really tough boss fights. Oh. Damn. So I don't think it actually isn't the right time to run when there's 3 lights there. I think I'm supposed to go when there's 2 lights down, and then that last guy picks up his light eventually, but that is a really tough pattern. This is some like Philips CDI gameplay, you know, one of those like time your thing perfectly moments. Oh, now I screwed up with... See, I'm getting impatient here. I gotta get my thoughts together. Okay. So, get this guy, and hoo-yah. So that thing was like an optional super boss, and clearly I should be happy that I managed to overcome that fight, rather than being all salty at what a pain that fight was, because it was an optional boss, and it was simply a merit for me to have beaten that thing. So my apologies for being so grumpy in light of that. I am still going to levy some critique for that fight and the circumstances of it being a super boss, though, because, you know, maybe if I had known that going in, I would have like been more like, oh my god, I used to be able to do this, and now I'm screwing this up all the time as well. Good heavens. Can I hold down circle to, like, run extra fast? No, I don't see a speed difference, no. There we go, made it. But I feel like that encounter wasn't exactly, shall we say, like, it didn't have the setup for a proper, like, extra optional super hard boss, so I didn't know that I was walking into such an encounter. It felt like just like any old boss fight. The music was the same, the, like, stakes seemed the same. There wasn't, like, any gravitas for this, horrifying enemy, you know? So instead of being like, I am in for the fight of my life, I gotta take this seriously, and I gotta appreciate that this is not gonna be an easy tango, I ended up being like, oh my god, are you kidding me? The balance is all crazy in this game! This is bullshit! You know? Oh, go. Hey, I got the timing. Perfect. That was really by the skin of my teeth, though. Wow. And truth be told, I guess you could once again point to Final Fantasy VII. The couple of super bosses in that are the two weapons, Ruby and Sapphire. I guess you could technically say that those don't get the kind of hype that they deserve as optional bosses either. I think you could argue that you're walking into a tough fight when you see these things. First of all, they're on the world map, so that's already pretty unique. So is Ultimate Weapon, which isn't as super, but Ultimate Weapon's pretty tough too. And also optional, so there you go. They're on the world map. They're humongous. You've seen them previously in that cutscene where the weapons are awakening. Well, if you were paying attention, you saw them in that group of weapons awakening. So I think you could argue that those were still like kind of set up, even though they have like regular fight music in them. There's no special music there or anything, and like you just kind of stumble in on them, So I'm still going to stick to that critique. I'm going to say that, all right, as an optional boss that was very challenging, yeah, okay, it passed muster. The mechanics in general, since they aren't the like most clean-shaven in this game, still hampered that fight, and they really kind of showed their like bad side in that fight, and it getting stretched out. And, again, like, it wasn't, like, set up in a proper way for me to appreciate that I was doing such a fight. So that's my last take. To be, this is my extending a fig leaf as an apology for getting so tilted, because I really do regret that, of course. But I have to at least still call out, something that I think is wrong with that encounter. Meanwhile, let's carry on here. A dead end? No way. Oh my god! The witch is mine! I'll get a good bonus for this. Do you really think you can beat me? Excuse me? You! Freeze! So she just has permanent fury, apparently, and it's very, very over the top. Oh wow, this lucky son of a gun. Die, witch! Yeah, wow, these guys... This place was super unprepared for this situation occurring. You'd think they'd have something that works against her, but, like, they're sending in the, like, basic grunts who are, like, completely helpless against her. Surrender now! Is she making their ammo explode in their weapons, or what is she doing? I don't know. Is she just blowing up them with her mind? It's like psychic Esper stuff. Gonna guess that. Oh, did I walk through this? This looks familiar. Yeah, this was when I was walking into the ruins, wasn't it? Yeah, this is that exact place. You never give up, do you? Well, that really was quite short. I am not going to deny that, now am I? Well then. I guess I will save my plot. I'm going to put it on top of I'm going to put it here just in case. Well. Well then, let's think about that. Do I prefer that more than Kuroko's story from the last game? I think I actually do. Even though it really, wow, that really was just a little tiny extra gameplay thing to show off what happened to the mysterious girl. Like, I guess for story purposes you couldn't really have any fights with her since she's apparently so powerful she can just wipe out regular guys with mean glance. So I was expecting like some kind of fight. Like, I understood at first we were doing that sneak bit, but I thought, like, maybe she would have, like, programmed gameplay. I guess Neko.works didn't, like, manage to work that out yet, like, how she actually functions in a fight, so we got this instead. But it's, I'll say in terms of setting up how, like, dangerous this character is, oh, yeah, I'm gonna give props for that. Yeah. It's quite simple, and it's probably done this way, again, to, like, make up for the fact that Neko.works hasn't really, like, gotten her gameplay to work yet, but it, like, works perfectly in, like, setting up, like, how, like, terrifying she is as this, like, unstoppable, you know, supernatural person who can just walk through enemies and bullets bounce off of her and everyone just dies. Cool stuff. So let's review the actual episode here, then. It's still good. It's still fun. I still enjoy this on the level of it being like this, like, one-man effort. Kind of like cute, like, let's go back to old school RPGs. And more for the feeling, you know, than, like, you know, as like a substantial, like, experience in that sense. Anyone who's looking for, like, a really substantial JRPG experience, this isn't there yet. Maybe one day when all the episodes are, like, released and you can, like, string them all together, maybe then you'll be pleasantly surprised. But for now, this is kind of like just like a, hey, weren't games like these fun? Yeah? And yeah, it's fun. The story is maybe, the story is hard for me to judge compared to the previous part, because this one doesn't have a ton happen. But it was nice. I liked the new characters. I liked that, you know, the returning character of Kid joining the party again. That was kind of neat. That felt kind of cool. Like, that was kind of a reward for paying attention to the story from the first part, like having Kid show up again. Props for that, for sure. It is unfortunate that this is, like, in you know, smack dab in the middle, and because it's so short, like, they set up a bunch of plot, but no, like, resolution for much anything. We don't find out what the deal with Ayaka is, her mystery. We don't, like, we only meet the mysterious girl at the very end, and we don't really get any, like, anything out of that yet. And her extra story, which was nice, was so short that we really didn't get much anything else except for learning what we already suspected, that she is incredibly dangerous. So, yeah, and also, like, the thing is, there was one, like, complete story hook, the story of Junk City and the Ice Palace, basically, and that's a super side story. So, like, it's, like, hard, I have a hard time saying, like, it was a nice story, but I have a hard time saying it was, like, great, that that's all that we got, basically, as a full story experience in this game, was, like, this side story of this village. Of course, that is what I enjoy in a lot of JRPGs, is when you kind of stop to do, like, some world-building side stuff, so I'm still giving, like, it a pass for the story, but, like, I have to call out, like, what the downsides are with this kind of storytelling. And I'm a little concerned. I don't know how many episodes Neko.works is planning on this story to take, but the story is, like, progressing at quite a slow pace. You know, it feels like if we are comparing to Final Fantasy VII, it feels like we are still somewhere in the Midgar chapter. So if you think of the Final Fantasy VII remake, those who have played that, this feels like we're, like, halfway through that, like we haven't even gotten through that, where this story is going. Now, maybe it's going to be a shorter story, maybe there's going to be, like, more stuff happening soon. It doesn't have to be 3 episodes, obviously. There's no need for it to be a trilogy. In fact, I hope it goes for a little longer for that, because on the one hand, I do appreciate a slow burn. It's kind of cool, and it is nice to like that gives an opportunity for that world building that I did at least call out as a bonus here. But the downside is that if you have like an episodic story like this that just keeps on going forever and ever, audience retention will suffer. Are people gonna keep being engaged with it? And is the developer ever going to finish it on time before circumstances forbid them? Now, in this case, it's a passion project by one person, so I don't think we have to worry about something like the funding drying up or them being bought out or anything like that, obviously. I'm sure Neko.Works is making this out of the love for the genre, and that's gonna let them keep going, but any unforeseen personal thing could pop up which puts a damper on this, and that would really suck. So I'm excited about this saga going on for who knows how many chapters, but I have to also be a little bit like, we gotta hamper our expectations. Like, is this gonna be taken to a satisfying conclusion? I hope so, but I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Let's talk about the gameplay. I think it's starting to show some of its faults at this point. The gameplay, it's a serviceable JRPG. If we're talking purely about the combat system, I guess I'm talking about that at this point. It's a serviceable JRPG. You do what you're supposed to do. The interesting take on the materia system is still fun, where you just get the passive bonuses just from equipping them. I can excuse me. Got something stuck in my throat. Yeah. I can definitely give points for that. That's a really good innovation, and I really like that. It's too bad that it's also light, that there's not a lot of opportunity for doing really getting nitty-gritty with that customization. The actual stuff you do in the game is a little unsatisfying, and it's really repetitive and not super exciting the longer you go. The addition of the new party members really didn't add to the diversifying what you're doing per round. Kid is just an extra DPS source, and she has the steal command. I tried to use it a couple of times. I never seemed to get any results from it, so kind of a bummer that. Ayaka at least diversifies by being a healer, but it's just kind of you keep doing the same thing with her, which is healing with prey until you get your fury done, and then you heal with flower bed. Whereas with Haru, you just keep on wailing with your sword. And also, I don't understand how the guard and protect mechanics work at all. If there is a mechanic for protecting other party members, I didn't see it. If the guard works, I didn't seem to notice it, because there were times when I got punched after a successful guard, command, and I seem to take the same damage. So that's a straight up, that could be made up much more clearer and conciser in this game. How the heck that's supposed to work. I was it's a functional combat system, but it's incredibly simple and basic. This goes beyond PlayStation. This is going to 8-bit Nintendo levels of we're still figuring the genre out, and honestly, even then, Final Fantasy III was on the Nintendo 8-bit, where they figured out, hey, job classes, that could really diversify the gameplay. It took until 5 for it to be in my mind, engaging with the kind of dual class system, but at least that was an interesting change already in that day and age. Final Fantasy III, that's my opinion on those two games, real quick. Outside of combat, the gameplay is also, it's fine, and I really appreciate the effort to try and put like mini games and like extra systems in. That is very evocative of the PlayStation era of JRPGs in my brain. I don't care if they come off as tacked on. That's for the experience of playing old school RPGs like that. I think that's incredibly valuable and I appreciate it. There weren't too many in this game, but they were cute. I like it. The lighting of the beacons was fine. The maze in the forest, trying to work out that was kind of like not a mini game, but like an extra like system thing. It was all right. Altogether, all right. Let's talk about the presentation, the graphics, and the music. Well, the music is really good. Like, definitely not gonna like knock on that at all. I've been very, very, very enjoyed the music all throughout. Still love the kind of uematsu-ness of that like Hammond organ boss music. That's again another like wink nod, nice touch, great stuff. Graphics are also fine, but I still can't shake the feeling that this feels like, because even when it like, made in Unity pops up, I haven't confirmed, but I'm not sure, but it all still feels a little bit like a lot of the graphics are like Unity assets. So if someone has played a lot of Unity games, maybe this is like not that interesting to look at. I enjoyed it. I'm a sucker for snow areas, so I took that in very nicely. There was the effort put in to have camera shots, certain kinds to like set up like environments and scenes was appreciated. The best single room in this game was Ayaka's house's room. That like just warmed my heart so much. How like that was designed, the camera shot from high above, and all the details in there. That was like primo JRPG of yesteryear material. The ice maze and the ice layer kind of unfortunately was lacking in a lot of that detail. Oh, but there was good stuff there too, like the winding passageways and the goblin hideout was kind of cool. I liked that all. So it's still enjoyable, although like still not like as like detail rich as you could maybe hope for outside of Ayaka's house, which was very, very, very lovely. So yeah, overall, I'm still I'm pretty positive with this series, and like heck, that's like, as you can see, they're very short and breezy experiences whenever these episodes come out. So it's not like I'm not gonna play episode 3. I have a hard time recommending this to people at the moment. Certainly not to somebody who's never played JRPGs before. I guess in theory you could say that because this is such a simple game, that's a nice entry point. But I think in this case the simplicity might be a little detrimental, like it doesn't have a chance to really sell you on the potential of the genre with like what interesting things you could do outside of the orb equipping thing, of course. That's cool, and I hope Neko.Works puts more orbs and more interesting kind of synergistic effects between them in the next episode, so a chance for that would be super. I'm gonna have to hold on to my save, by the way, now that I saved in that one slot. I gotta remember that I have that here, so since apparently you can import saves between episodes. For JRPG fans, I guess I could recommend this depending on how nostalgia-stricken you are for games that are 20 years ago and older. I think those kind of people will appreciate this the most. And in that case, the shortness, I think, is to its benefit in these short, bite-sized games. If this was a feature-length game, but it was like this kind of at this level of simplicity, I think even the nostalgic people would be like, "Oh wow, this isn't as romantic as I remembered it being." But in these little chunks of let's turn back into light Fairytale with its latest episode and have a little bit of fun with this old timiness, I think that works well. So I can see old school JRPG people enjoying this. I certainly did. I think someone hunting for like a really solid JRPG experience, you know, if you're looking for mechanics, I can't point you to this game. I have to point you to Bravely Default, like 2, which was fantastic, or even if you can find it, the previous Bravely Default. That's a budget game, but that's a budget game where the gameplay was like perfected, basically. This one is more of a kind of trip down memory lane, as I kind of implied. So, yeah. Okay, well, I can still do my favorite stuff review, even with a short thing like this. My favorite protagonist, I'm gonna give it to Ayaka, cause, well, I thought she was kind of cool, and I appreciated having a healer in the party at last. I appreciated the really ballsy choice to, like, not have her have any weapon at all, like, she has no attack option, like, she really is a dedicated healer. I thought that was kinda neat. But you could still make her do damage if you wanted to by giving her, you know, spell orbs. So, still. And that, I guess that's the one thing where you have a little bit of, like, what do I do? The balance of, do I use Ayaka for healing, as I've been doing a lot, or do I, like, squeeze in attack with her, but will that, like, end up, costing in later turns when, like, we're losing on that HP race to heal up? That's kind of interesting. Yeah. My favorite villain... It didn't have a ton of memorable villains. Am I gonna have to give it to that armor? Because it certainly was, like, it left an impression on me, that giant mech. As frustrated as I was, it left an impression on me, so I guess I should, like, give it to that. Maybe the goblin leader at the start. Because that was, like, kind of fun, like chasing that guy down in the ice maze. Like, a villain you see a couple of times early, and then, yeah, maybe that's the best villain. But I had to say, like, that mech certainly is memorable, so I guess it gets points for that. It's not the ice elemental, I'm sorry to say, even though she was set up as kind of the big villain of this story since the whole ice maze and ice ruins thing was the centerpiece of the story. But she wasn't, you know... We heard about her, and then we fought her, and she was evil, and then we beat her, and she killed that one guy, Daichi, which was kind of sad. So, I don't think I can say that she is my favorite villain. The ice goblin leader, or the snow goblin, the blue goblin, whatever he was, that guy had like stuff going on, so I'll give it to him. Ice Ruins, though, best level for sure. Very cool. I love the variety that there was. You had that, like, sewer area that led to the goblin lair. You had then the upper rafters, and finally the throne room. That was a good effort at making, like, an area with a lot of variety to it. Even if, like, the individual corridors were, again, a little sparse. So, good. The funniest moment for sure was this ending in Haru's story, where he's completely oblivious to the girl being the killer, thinks that she's in danger by whatever killed those soldiers. And what's funny about that is that she's, like, completely caught off guard. That's really funny. And she was, like, about to threaten Haru, but he, just oblivious shonen hero, completely ignored that and was like, it's not safe here. And what that is also super cute to me is that I imagine that's gonna be, like, kind of like what sells Haru to the mystery girl. The implications are that no one treats her very well. Everyone just calls her a witch and shoots guns at her and does horrible experiments on her inside that facility. While Haru actually shows, you know, concern and care and affection for her. So I imagine that's gonna lead to some kind of, like, ice breaking between the two, and, like, there's like opportunity there. I really want to see where that goes, and it was very cute and also really funny that setup went that way. There is the risk that she's gonna be like a real tsundere archetype that I'm not a huge fan of in this day and age. You know, if that's the route they're gonna take with, you know, the way what we know about her and her behavior, and if she's gonna feel like beholden to Haru, but she's gonna still be this like very, very angry character, like you know some Asuka from Evangelion vibes is what I'm getting at here, and I don't know if I'm looking forward to that kind of character archetype in this story, so but I don't want to be a doomsayer. Come on, it could be cute between these two. It could be funny. It could be an interesting story. So yeah, actually, I kind of am like really, despite like my bevy of criticisms, I'm actually kind of like really happy to see what's gonna be what happens now at last that Haru has met with the mystery girl. Like, what is episode 3 gonna have in store for these characters? Not to mention our who's gonna be returning now that we have 3 other party members off screen: Kuroko, Kid, and Ayaka. Like, it's like which one's gonna return in the next story, and how are they gonna like fit in with this unfolding narrative? Good stuff. So this was fun. Light Fairytale, good stuff. Looks like it's about like a year or 2 years development, so I guess in 2023 we might be sitting down, you and I, dear viewer, to play through episode 3 to see where this goes, maybe? I don't know, but it was delightful. I'm gonna have to scratch my head on what to do for tomorrow, because this episode is not long enough for to fill up the Monday and Tuesday slot, so I'll think of something, I guess, but I'll try not to leave. That would be the lamest if I just leave tomorrow without an episode. That would really suck, so I'll see if I can think of something. But it's not going to be like Fairytale, because we wrapped this up. So thanks for watching, everyone, and catch you later for some more RPG fun bonanza stuff. Blah. Okay, see you. Bye-bye.